Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about how we level up our lives through the power of our words. And so we're going to dive deep into how we've lost the energetic understanding of words, and most importantly, how we don't have to be conscious of all of our words to get this level up. I know that would really suck because we don't want to bring self-awareness to our lives to become our own self-critic. We just want to understand that we could bring more power in powerful ways to our lives, not by fighting what we're doing. That might be a lower vibration, but just bringing more high vibrational activities, and in this video, words to our lives. Okay, so this is important because what the goal of this channel is, again, just to really understand how we can bring more of the high vibrational energy into our lives in a more consistent way. So that way we become that higher vibration, not by looking at how we've been doing things or the words we've been speaking. I know when I first started, I read that book, 30 Days to Taming Your Tongue, like 3 times. And I'm like, yeah, that's damn near impossible. And most of the time it is. So let's not fight the old. Let's just start implementing the new. And through this video, we're going to use the contrast of what we've been doing to understand how we can do it differently more often rather than trying to stop how we've been, because that's just a part of us that we got to understand, but we want to implement more consciousness in what we're doing. And so through that and the contrast that I always use in this channel, we're going to use like little analogies of understanding our shadow. And that's not to, let's just accept our shadow. It's not to beat up what we've been doing. It's just so we can understand our unconscious nature, our compulsive, unconscious, energetic spewing that we've been doing. And that's not to stop it. That's crucial. It's to accept it and then just implement slowly some conscious energetic spewing of a higher nature. So let's get to it. Okay, so we've all probably heard at this point in our lives, abracadabra. And what the meaning of that in the true root origination of the word is that, words have power. And so we kind of all get that because we know that our tongue has the power to hurt or heal as dictated in the Bible. But we really, how do we integrate that to make extreme changes in our lives? And that's what the goal of this channel is. So to understand that, I would like to use the understanding that we've been stripped of the connection of words and energy. Words have always throughout time been the conveyance of an energetic signature. And so what has happened throughout time is then we started to realize that words could be stripped of their energetic meaning. Words can be, I don't want to use anything too negative, but they can be misconstrued to mean something else rather than what they really mean. And so our energy and our words are not in alignment. And so then we get into the language of symbolism, which we will have another video on this channel about the language of symbolism, because symbolism is a huge language that can never be distorted. That's why tarot was invented, because it's it's a language that can be distorted. I was going off track, but even just to look at what they did in the caves, they did symbols because they're trying to invoke your understanding through symbolism, which can't be tainted. We'll say it that way. And so just to understand that in a nutshell is if you see a picture of somebody smiling, you understand what that means. Okay. But let's go deeper into how, symbolism can always take us to the true meaning, but words can be distorted so that we're not getting the true meaning. That's key, because through this contrast, we can understand how we can get more in alignment and union with our words and our feelings. Okay, so let's use the word love. Love is my favorite. It is very distorted, very. And I think we all are kind of getting to that place. I mean, as you start to go through expansion, people say love is not a romantic whim. It is a state of being. And then in the Bible, it says, God is love. So then what we've been taught in the English language is that love is more of a romantic thing, or even just a extension of ourselves to another that is of a energetic, like acceptance and things of that nature. Like we love our kids, we love our mate, we love, what we do. It's like an extension of a feeling. But my point of this is that in the English language, there is one word that really describes all love. Okay. And so, in other languages, they have nuances of the word love. Sanskrit has the most. Sanskrit is one of the most old languages. And so with that understanding, we're not going to go too deep in that. Like I said, I'll do another video on that, but we're going to just understand that we have been stripped of the energetic understanding. Like if you say love about your parents, that's not the same love as with your soulmate. And so if we're not getting those nuances, that means that we're being stripped of the energetic meaning of words. So we're just going to use that for now. So you can kind of understand how important this is, because when we say words, we can evoke emotions within ourselves. And we wouldn't want to evoke the same emotion for our child as we do our lover. It's just, so we've lost that invocation of the energy when we say words. Okay, so stay with me. Okay, so now we can understand that, our words have power. So let's go into the contrast of what we've been doing unconsciously, and that will be reflective of the power of our words. Because remember, everything energetically within ourselves that we are putting out to the matrix is what is being reflected back to us. So if we looked at ourselves as 100% the highest vibration we can hold in this reality, and everything's just flowing, and we're just wise, and because that's light is consciousness, light is love, and the highest vibration, love, joy, peace, love, as they say in the Bible, then we will have a flow state. We will have abundance. We will have love. We will have peace, those things. And so we can say we start the day at 100%. We wake up, there's nothing there yet. I wish this were true, but we kind of carry stuff. But let's just use this for contrast understanding purposes. And then all of a sudden we look at our phone and we get a text, and it engages some sort of rage inside of us. And so then what we do is we turn to somebody in our house and we start speaking on that rage. And rage is a huge one because it will have us spewing more and then perpetuating that energy of rage out into it's, just going to start invoking more rage as we do that. And then we are spewing energetic, like low vibrations. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling you to change that. But what's happening is now we are out of balance because our inherent nature is love. Period. And so the reason why rage doesn't feel very good and we are compulsed to spew it is because we want to get it out of our system. It is not our inherent nature. We don't like it. We want to spew it out. We feel like if we get it, we're projecting it out, right? And so this is all unconscious. Lower is not light. Love is light. Joy, peace, love is all up there. Anger, grief, shame, all that's down here. And we're not seeing clearly what we're doing. Okay. So be with me on that. So that's the compulsive, unconscious nature of what we've been doing with our energy and how we're spewing it into the matrix of life, the mirror, the Gaia's illusion. And we want to learn to balance that, right? Because it's not about not having the lower emotions. That false positivity, toxic positivity thing. It's about realizing that this has power, and now we're at 100% unconsciously spewing the lower vibrations, and we're not bringing any of the higher. We do because we're not even understanding that this is affecting our life so much. Because remember, we're at the 100% joy, peace, love, and now with that anger that put in our energy field and then spewed it out in projection, then now we're down to, life would have reflected at this great joy, peace, love place back to us, but now we've kind of went down to 50%. So that's duality. And so now our lives are going to be duality, roller coasters, because we're putting that energetically out there. So how do we balance that? Well, then we just come to the natural conclusion that we have to start speaking more of the powerful, higher energetic words. Great. In theory, it's great because this is where that good vibes only thing has been totally stripped of the energetic meaning, because again, words have lost their energetic meaning. So we're saying good vibes only, but are we actually understand it? And so this is the part of the video where we understand that we have to generate, we're powerful beings, we have to generate the higher energies within ourselves, which will be met with a lot of resistance, but just keep going. And then we need to invoke the feeling very strongly, right? And then emote that energy through powerful, higher vibrational words. Key. Everything is energy, and we can't just say good vibes only. We can't just, and then what happens is when the false positivity and toxic positivity means is that because we're saying good vibes only, when these negative things happen and we're emoting these things, we put it in a separate shadow part of ourselves, because inherently we're good people and we want love and light, and we think that we're great because of this false positivity. And so when we don't accept and own the fact that we do spew a lot of negativity, then it becomes a shadow aspect, and we're completely unconscious, and we're constantly going back and forth in this. Yeah. And the way you know that is because you are always saying you're a great person, and then all of these bad people are attracted to me. And I don't mean to sound like condescending about it, but I did this too. We all do. And it's like, but this is a reflective universe. So when you realize that, you would always want to stay at this 100% balance, where peace is the best way to describe it, joy, peace, love, because it's not really toxic positivity. It's really just a state of being. It's not just saying I'm good vibes only, and then I go in traffic and I'm a raging lunatic. Okay, so I just want to, after I did the whole, we go in traffic and we're a raging lunatic, it's our duality. And then what that means is that we're unconscious to the fact that we are spewing all of this stuff from a compulsive invocation of old patterning, and then spewing this out. And that's just like, whoa. If you were conscious enough, you'd be like, oh, and so you want to become self-aware. And so then going back to, we don't want to not accept that part of ourselves. We do. This isn't all just love and light. This is owning every single part of ourselves, our energy patterns, our word patterns, all of that, accept it. But now we want to balance it with conscious, evolutionary power. And we invoke that in ourselves, and we spew it out as much as we can. And this is why, service to others is important. It's because at the energetic level, when we're at service to others, or as Jesus said, spread the good news, it's because we're spreading the good energy. Teaching is learning, because then we're teaching love and light, so that we're spewing that energy out, and then it's reflecting back to us. Has nothing to do with the other. It's like, no, I'm not going to help those people, or I'm not going to speak compassion to people that are crappy and all that. It's not for them. And so you can get your piggy bank in balance of, the 100%. And so what we can learn to do consciously, wouldn't it make sense that if we're spewing and we're getting down to the 40, 30, 20, 10, 10, we're spewing anger and hate at the world and stuck in our beds and can't even function. That is because there's no flow in that state. And so we want to start now by not changing what we currently do, owning it, and then using the power within ourselves to invoke the higher states. Hardest job on planet Earth, but the only thing that really matters. This is the war, y'all. It's not out there. It's you start, because then if we all started spewing this positivity into, and then as we give it to others, then they're going to wake up. Oh, there's a better, easier way. That feels good, Then collectively we're one, so we would all shift. It's the only thing that matters. These external wars that we're never going to win is just part of this duality. So how do we do that? That's the key, y'all. That is it. That's what this whole channel is for. We use all different concepts to try to lead us to this one place. So let's get to, how do we invoke that power in us and spew it out so that we can start balancing that and start getting more of that reflected good stuff, good juju in the reality. Okay, so I could go into how we should stop aligning with negative words. Because remember, we've been stripped from our understanding. If we really consciously understood that every word carries a vibration, we wouldn't listen to that murderous rage, ego crap. We just wouldn't. We wouldn't at all. It wouldn't exist. But collectively, that's where we're at. So it's very resonant. And so what resonates, we think is normal. And so I don't want to try to fight the old, but try to like balance that out with some enlightening and lifting words being poured into your consciousness as much as you can. And then you're going to start noticing it being easier to get your own invocation of these things. But the way that I would like to describe this is, you know, the person that I really kind of resonate with is like Abraham, like word rampages to get yourself in the vortex. And this is like the same thing, just a different conceptual way to say it. And so that would be like, think of the things that you love, the things that make you feel really good. And sometimes that might take a lot for us, like a moment in time. Time and space is an illusion. It's all about energy. So you can energetically go to anywhere you want. But unfortunately, we're going to the things that we hate because we feel like if we go to those, then we're going to be able to fix them. Well, we got to stop that too. But we go to a time where we felt joy, peace, love. That time when you got recognition for something, or that time that your, lover looked at you a certain way, or a time when your kids were like super cozy and snuggly and giving you a lot of validation. And you have to go to a place in time, and this is the unconscious where we're at. We consistently default to things that we don't like because that's our vibrational context. So this is where we have to learn to master our emotional mental states so that we can invoke the energy inside of us and spew that into the matrix. So you go to that and then you'd be like, wow, I loved that moment. I loved it so much. I love the way he looked at me. I could see in his eyes that he thought I was beautiful. I am beautiful. I love when he is with me and we are connected, and see, you just got to keep doing that. And then you're going to notice all the resistance of the old coming in, but you got to keep pushing through that until you can say the things that are going to get you into that emotion, right? And then spew it out there. You know, the word rampage. Tell your kids, oh, you look beautiful. And you could say that you've done this your whole life, but remember, your words had been stripped. So you could have been icky inside and trying to toxic false positivity, y'all. And that's just not getting you anywhere, because the energy behind the words is the feminine. And right now we're trying to bring back the divine feminine. Yeah, that is my mantra right now, because it's the unseen. It is the energetic component of our reality. It is the unconscious. It is everything. It's that we've been negating. And this teaching is only trying to help us understand that feminine principle, because we've been super masculine, which just means that we're saying words and we're not understanding the unseen power behind them. So that's the true balance. That's the true yin yang. That's the true joy, peace, love. Whole masculine, feminine, not a gender, the principles within us. So get started, y'all. Don't beat yourself up. Then it's just keeping you in lower places. Be like, ooh, I see what I'm spewing. My piggy bank went down to 50. Let me get it up back to that joy, peace, love state by invoking it within myself, not with fake positivity. We have to get super in tune with our feminine, which is the feeling. And then when we get in those feelings, y'all, don't sleep on that. Give it to everybody. That's why service to others or teaching is learning. I know it's sounding like a broken record, but it's serious, because then when you get in those higher states, which can be extremely difficult in the beginning, the way that you perpetuate more of that is you give it to the world. You give it to the matrix over and over again. And then try really hard when you're triggered into those lower states not to compulsively emit that energy, which is another way of saying stop projecting your wounds, stop projecting your anger, stop projecting your hate. So this is why. This is a deeper understanding of why. So let's get to it, y'all. You know, the war is within. Once we all start working on our own war within ourselves, then we can start emoting the new energy, and it will help others, and through our example of energy, and then we can change the world through that. So I hope this helps, and I hope you understand. If you do, please leave a comment in another way that we can get other people to understand from your point of view. This is my point of view, and we're all, perceptively a little different. So I hope you share, and I hope this helps you going forward to get into those higher states within yourself so you feel good and you attract the life you want. All right, that's it for now. Take care.